At 3:40 in the morning, August 31st, 1888, a carman named Charles Cross, he walked his usual route back through Bucks Row in Whitechapel, a working-class district in the east end of London, England. The street was dim. Gas lamps sat far apart. Coal smoke, it hung in the air, and the sound of horse carts echoed faintly on the cobblestones. Near a stable gate, he noticed what looked like a bundle, and when he stepped closer, he realized it was the body of a woman. Her name was Ann Nichols. She was 43 years old. Her death would be remembered as the first in the case the world had came to know as Jack the Ripper. Mary Ann, known as Polly, she was born in 1845, the daughter of a locksmith. At 19, she married William Nichols, a printer's machinist, and together they had 5 children. But their marriage fell apart. Mary drifted into poverty, and by 1888 she lived night to night in common lodging houses where a bed cost 4 pennies. On the evening of August 30th, she was turned away for not having money. Around 2:30 a.m., she was seen on Whitechapel Road, saying she had earned enough, but she spent it on drink and went back out to try again. She never returned. When police arrived at Bucks Row, they found she had been attacked with a knife. She suffered serious wounds. The coroner said the assault was fast and deliberate, sparking debate about whether the person responsible had medical knowledge or was simply skilled with a blade. Either way, it was no ordinary street crime. Whitechapel itself was one of the hardest corners of London. More than 80,000 people lived crowded into less than a square mile, about 2.6 kilometers. Narrow lanes, dim lamps, overcrowded housing. It made it dangerous and also quite easy to hide. Poverty and alcoholism were quite common, and women like Nichols lived on the edge, often with no options beyond a few coins for shelter. Her death didn't just trouble Whitechapel, it unsettled the entire city. Newspapers spread the story across Britain and soon abroad. Fear grew quickly. London police responded with heavier patrols. Families began avoiding the East End at night, and rumors swept through the city about a killer who seemed to strike without warning. Nichols' case, it was marked the start of one of the largest manhunts of the Victorian era. Mary Ann Nichols' death became the beginning of what history calls the Whitechapel murders. Over the following months, at least 4 more women, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly, they all lost their lives in similar ways. The press gave the unknown killer a name, Jack the Ripper. And despite countless theories, the Ripper was never caught. His identity still remains unknown, more than a century later. And yet the story doesn't belong to him alone. It belongs to women like Mary Ann Nichols. She lived and died in the harsh streets of London's East End. On her final night, she only needed 4 pennies for a bed. That simple fact carries more weight than the mystery of the man who took her life. Nichols, she deserves to be remembered, not as the start of a legend, but as a mother of 5, a woman whose struggle was real and whose name should not be forgotten. These are Interesting Things with JC.